Y'all know who it is. That man in the blue hoodie running these streets. Had to get it in late, so I gotta get under the spotlight. I gotta get under the spotlight for this so you can see me. But you don't even need to see me, you need to hear me. Today is gonna be simple. Running through experience. Running through experience. All right? The only way to experience is to experience. Now, even if you tell me I can learn from your experiences, which will help me to be wiser and further along in my experience if it's something I need to do. Now, understand, you learn from two different people. You learn from the wise man and you learn from the foolish man. The wise woman and the foolish woman. They both teach you. You need to listen to both and understand why. If you've experienced it and it didn't work for you, you're going to tell me from a perspective more likely that the person who it did work for won't give me the perspective of. And in you giving me that, you may be trying to deter me from and save me from it. But if I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to do it regardless. But I hope that I can listen and have the wise man or woman, the wise person, to also give me insight, which a lot of times we miss out on that person because the successful person or who it worked for is not always there. As the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher will appear and the master. So I want to learn from both and listen to both so that when I have my experience, I'm able to experience and see from both sides. Not one-sided, not one angle, but I'm able to say, I can see why this didn't work out for them. I can see why this did deter them. I can see why I can see why this did work for them. I can see how they were able to succeed. I can see how they were and I'm able to take both in my experience, and then I'm able to start at a place that they were not able to because they started literally from ground zero and nothing. Though I'm going to have nothing when I start and I'm going to be building and working on it, I'm able to start further ahead when I do start, opposed to starting at the starting line so far behind, which we've all seen those pictures of where the race is not fair and there's a person way ahead and a person in the middle and it goes all the way back to there's a person way behind, even at the starting line. You're so far back at the starting line that by the time you run up to where they were, you done ran so much that you kind of tired and you got to keep going up. So now let's catch up. Let's keep up, for there's no rush, but understand, moving swiftly and quickly and in timely fashion, that's not rushing, that's being on time, the right time. And this comes through experience, something that you can only gain through experience. You have to do it, not just do the work, but do the action. Be willing to take the step. Be willing to put in the application. Be willing to go back to school. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to get out of your comfort zone to experience something new. I'm talking about experiencing life in such a way that I've never experienced. I don't know what it will entail, but I know what I've been experiencing. I know what I have graduated, what I have, in a sense, mastered certain things. And now I'm ready to experience something else and something new. I've mastered being broke. I've mastered not having. I've mastered going without. I've mastered being dependent on the system. I've mastered being broken. I have lived like this so long. The account with nothing in it. The account in the negatives. Going up, going down. Having, not having. Eating, not eating. I've mastered this to where now I'm saying, okay, let me experience, as long as I've learned and created this discipline and saying that I have, then I'm understanding where I'm going, and that when faced again or when certain things approach, I'm able to see it wiser. I've also have seen, money as well, and I've blown money and I've given money and I've had anything I wanted to eat. And I've been in the penthouse, and I've been with the owners and the VIPs. I've been with the MIPs, which is the most important people. I've been in these rooms. I've driven these cars. It's the world and it's materialistic, but I would have never been able to be in those places and have those experiences if I still was the same boy from the projects, if I still was the same boy from the hood, if I still was the same boy in the same place, in the same mindset, doing the same things I always did. I had to be willing to say, I trust God, I'm going to Manual High School. I trust God, I'm going to Spalding University. I trust God, I'm going to Bellarmine University. I trust God, I'm going to China, going to Germany, going to Belgium, going to London, going to Mexico. I trust I'm willing to go because I can always come home. I can always do what I was doing before. I know how to do that. I want to learn how to do something new. I want to remember how I've done things before I even knew any of this existed. I want to be in that form. Let me get back to that form where I was able to go and be wherever and let that match up in this flesh. I want my flesh and spirit to be as one, not separate as two. I wanted to intertwine and be one and let that match up. I wanted to match up in my physical. G-Bed, spiritually, mentally, emotionally developing to conquer the physical. I want these areas and components that are not tangible to conquer that which is tangible. I want to take these intangibles and make them tangible. So you're saying that you're great and that you're talented and you have potential and you're skilled and this and that. Okay, then let's see that manifest and show up through your experience. And sometimes you got to come in as the rookie. Sometimes you come in on the entry level. You should always want to come in that way. Because if you come in too high, then you too high. When you get knocked down, you get discouraged and deterred, and you want to just go home. You want to just get out of Dodge. But if I start at the basement and I develop that basement and it's my foundation, I don't care how high up I build or how high up I go to that penthouse. I understand I came from the basement, and I respect the fact that if something happens and I get sent back down to the basement, I know how to get back up to that penthouse again. But I want us to stay at the penthouse and bring our basement up to the penthouse. That's the type of experience I'm talking about having in my life. So the experience, you want to learn from both the fool and the wise. Don't shut anyone and anything out, because you never know how that bit of information could be the information you need from the fool that you're not going to get from the wise man. James tells us favoritism is forbidden. James 2. Just take a look at it. It's a quick little small, if you do, read your Bible. If you don't, just Google it. Favoritism is forbidden, because don't always look for the man in the suit with the shiny rings and the nice car to give you the insight about what it is that you want in your life. Don't just try to acquire what he has, what you see with your eyes and what you hear by what he does. I want to know who he is and how he got those, because he may have had those things and what he did to get them may not be what you want to do to get them. He may not be living the right way, but he has these things and you say, but I want these things. I'm willing to do what he did. Are you really? Or she did. I don't want to just make it one-sided, or what she did. You want to make sure you're going about this the right way, and that your experience is full, and that you're doing it in such a way that you can sleep at night and have peace. You want to experience life and have peace. And I believe that's where we all are right now at this time in 2020. We're looking for peace. That word say, come to me and I'll give you rest. You want to sleep and rest your head with peace at night and get up in the same state. It can be done. This is an experience that you can have. You can put no price or value on peace. You can't buy that. You can't trade for that. You can't invest, not in the physical, but what you do in the intangible will become tangible. Experience. So we're running through experience. Let that sink in. I love y'all because I love me. I know what love is. I'm saying good night. This time, street lights on. It's dark. I gotta get home. They calling me. G-Bed, get better every day.